let's talk about the Pokes. This is the Oklahoma State team that uh, I picked in the playoffs. No other way of saying it. I picked them in the playoffs, and they barely beat a team in Tulsa that has a coach on the hot seat and won 3 games last year. You tell me how panicked I should be.
Well, I didn't get to watch most of this game. I saw some of the clips. A couple things stand out to me. I don't like seeing a double-digit number in terms of tackles for loss allowed. That's not really a great
Their
feeling.
offensive line was not good. Like that I can just go ahead and save you your film study. Their offensive line was not good.
14 tackles for loss for Tulsa. Now, look, maybe Zaven Collins and Grant Sawyer are just like the next big thing, Barton.
Zaven Collins is good now. I will say that. Like that's, but aside from that, but Zaven Collins aside, I don't think that 14 tackles for loss is excusable.
Now, some excuses can be made here. Spencer Sanders goes out, I think, on the first drive, right?
Before the third drive, he hobbled to the locker room.
To your credit, you did mention that you thought Oklahoma State's offensive line could be a real kind of pain point for them this year if they didn't get it right. We knew they had some guys retire and go pro in something other than sports or whatever, and I think somebody transferred. They did get the one transfer from West Virginia in Sills, who they were pretty excited about. And I know there's not great defenses in the Big 12, but I think maybe like threat level orange, perhaps, to the Pokes pick here. We can't go red until we see what they look like with Sanders back, but this is concerning.
Yeah, it's I think like Shane Illingworth got in, and I think that's my only hope is that they did score when Shane Illingworth got in, and it wasn't that they scored because Shane Illingworth was like really good. It was just they scored because they were willing to throw vertically. Finally, like they were willing to stress the defense and let Tylan Wallace go make a couple plays, and then bam, well, boom, 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 like touchdown. All right, well, why, was the Ethan Bullitt kid that bad that you couldn't just throw it downfield a couple times? And so, with that said, I'm hopeful. For the sake of my pick, that a Spencer Sanders return just sort of makes that offense a lot more cohesive. But I don't think that I would. If I were to re-rack it, I don't think I'd have Oklahoma State in my. Usually these if a team's good enough, pretty quick they're good enough. If they're not good enough, pretty quick they're not good enough. There may be some good moments for Oklahoma State along the way this year, but let's call a spade a spade. That was not a playoff team.